Plenary Session 2, meron tayong tatlong madidinig. Isang speaker galing sa government sector, merong isa galing sa microfinance industry, at syempre, ang pangatlo, equally important, from the private sector. Okay, so sa puntong ito, I'd like to introduce to you the speaker for our topic, Food Security in Urban Agricultural Households. Ang kasama po natin ngayon ay si Mr. Gerald Glenn Panganiban. Siya po ay Assistant Director ng Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Plant Industry. Siya rin ng National Program Director ng DA Urban Agriculture Program. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, meron pa pala akong gustong i-share sa inyo. No? Si Mr. Gerald is a licensed agriculturist and agribusinessman with extensive career experience in implementation of sanitary and phytosanitary measures, rich academic experience in a collaborative public management and governance, sustainability and thinker, and multiplier. Yan. Okay. So let us all welcome with a round of applause. Pwede ba? Para gumising na Kabalik. Round of applause. All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Magandang hapon po. Magandang hapon po, sir, sa inyo at sa lahat ng ating mga participants dito sa APPEND Summit. Very inspiring, sir, yung words that you've said earlier. And I would like to thank TSPI. Si Ma'am Lynn, tumatawag pa ngayon. I don't know bakit, but I'm here now. So thank you again for the invitation and this chance to share yung ating initiatives, government towards food security. And of course, yung TSPI po is one of the most active partners po natin. Actually, nagpa-contest pa po kayo on the best urban gardens. Ito lang, siguro 2 months ago. Ano po? So again, thank you. So siguro para hindi na baka antukin pa yung mga participants natin, i-share ko na yung screen ko. Ano? Saglit lang. Share screen. Okay, nakikita po ba? Nakikita nyo na po yung screen. Okay, so magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Again, ako po si Glenn Panganiban of the Department of Agriculture. Ako po ay ngayon ay nahirang na Program Director nitong Urban Agriculture Program natin. And concurrently sitting as National Program Director din po ng High Value Crops Development Program. So, nito lang po yan, fresh na fresh, nitong November lang last week. So, yan. Ito pong aking presentation entitled National Urban and Peri-Urban Agriculture Program, Responses and Prospects Amidst Food Security Challenges. Ano? Just to share with you, we started or we relaunched the Urban Agriculture Program tama-tama po nung time before tayo ay mag-pandemic. It was December of 2019 that it was personally instructed to me by our secretary na ito nga i-reinvigorate ng ating Urban Agriculture Program. Before po, ito po ay isa lamang maliit na programa under the High Value Crops Development Program. Ngunit nung pong tayo ay naharap dito sa ating pandemya, ay naging, kumbaga, nagkaroon tayo ng realization. Ano? Although, syempre, hindi ganun kaganda ang timing ng realization kasi bakit tuwing crisis marirealize lang itong ganitong challenges. Ano? But yun nga po, tayo in the government, being the frontliners, we are, hindi naman po tayo pwedeng tumigil na kumain Hindi tayo pwedeng tumigil mag-produce ng ating kakainin. So ito po, isa po itong produkto na naging programa na po siya ng ating departamento. So, ayaw yatang gumalaw ng screen ko Ayan. So, as an intro, alam po naman natin na tayo ay naharap nga. Ang tawag po dito sa ating hinaharap na food security problem. And itong ating COVID ay wicked problem. Parang isang problema na hindi kayang solusyonan ng iisa lamang ahensya ng pamahalaan o isang ahensya, isang sektor lamang ng lipunan. So that's why it's wicked, because it's a very complex problem. Like yung food, hindi lang naman po problema ng agrikultura ito, kundi minsan function din ng transport, function din ng storage, so isa po siyang masalimuot ng problema na hindi lang po ang DA ang nakikita natin na solusyon. Naandyan pa po na tumataas ang ating urban population, halos kalahati ng ating populasyon ay nasa urban areas nakatira. And ito nga po, nakikita natin yung urban agriculture or UA, paiksiin na lang natin, ay it was seen as an aid to food security, kasi if you have food in your backyards, kahit papaano makabawas siya sa iyong gastusin, at least may always ready ka na pipitasin. Ito siguro yung anong tawag dyan, yung sa lawi kain natin na pag may isinuksok, may madudukot. Siguro ito yung niya. Pero itong ating ginagawa, yung food always in the home, ay hindi naman natin kakayanin nga na nag-iisa tayo. We need each other, support, not only from the government, kundi in private sector and civil society, and even the individuals. So ano po yung nakita natin na impacts so far ng urban agriculture? Yun nga, yung laging isinusulong ng ating secretary na si Secretary William Dars, yung food always in the home. Tanim tayo sa backyard natin, ay meron tayong mabubunot. Kung leafy vegetables yan, in 1 month, maaring meron ka na. Kung mga kamatis, mga sili, in 3 months to 4 months, meron ka na. So, yung mga commodities na yon na minsan hindi natin napapansin, na binibili pa natin, nabibili pa natin siya, kung mabawas na yun sa gastusin natin sa araw-araw, ay diba, makakatulong na siya. Pangalawa, nakita natin, although syempre initial pa lang itong mga natin, is naging resilient tayo and naging sustainable yung mga pamamaraan natin, of course, with the urban agriculture, kasi recycle tayo ng mga materials natin, ginagawa natin mga taniman, mga lumang gulong, mga lumang gamit sa bahay, and at the same time, nagkakaroon tayo ng produce na maaari nating ibenta. May ibang grupo na i-share sa mga frontliners and sa mga local communities nila, pero yung iba naman ay nakakabenta rin kahit paano. Third is yun nga, yung collaboration natin, kasi ang conventional thinking sa gobyerno is kanya-kanyang diskarte. But dito sa ating UA program, hindi lang natin nakatandem ang ating mga national government, hindi lang ang local government, kundi yung mga private sector, nandyan, mga multinational corporations, mga homeowners association. So from multinational to national to local ay na-reach natin. And of course, mga individuals natin na may, kumbaga, subsistence ang kanilang pamumuhay. Fourth is itong ating programa ay nakita nating nag-impact na, kasi nga nagagamit na natin yung mga technologies ngayon. Meron tayong mga urban farms, mga vertical farms na nag-ooperate. And of course, yung mga technologies na ginagamit natin, like hydroponics, aquaponics, kung dati nakikita lang natin siya sa mga may business o ngayon even the common people ay nakakapag-participate na rin dito. And of course, ang ating gustong makita sana dito ay isang kinabukasan na free tayo from any financial insecurity, although syempre medyo mahirap makamtan yan. And of course, yung food insecurity ay ating mabawasan through local food sourcing and livelihood opportunities. Okay, itong programa lang namin, konting lang is yun nga, promote agricultural development sa city centers at sa mga yung tinatawag na urban areas at saka yung mga karatig pook niya, yung peri-urban. So ang strategy is to collaborate with the whole range of stakeholders, government, non-government, and private sector para tayo ay magamit natin mga teknolohiya at makaani at kumita. So sa ngayon, meron na tayong almost 2,000 partners at majority dito ay meron tayong memorandum of agreement. Bakit kanyo? Kasi although gusto natin siyang i-encourage, we want to make it sustainable. Gusto natin ma-monitor siya lagi. Gusto natin na maging responsible yung mga partners natin. Ang TSPI ay isa dyan sa mga nag-signify ng kanilang suporta sa pag-sign. So, I hope kami ay nakakabigay ng aming responsibilidad sa inyo. At alam ko naman na ang TSPI ay very supportive sa amin. So, yun nga, nagpa-contest pa kayo. So marami na rin tayong na-establish na urban gardens, community gardens, almost 3,000 na rin. And almost 1,000 na rin ang ating na-conduct na trainings. Alam ko, nag-training din kayo through blended learning. So yun, it could be online or limited face-to-face. So ito, yung specific strategies natin, well, step up. So na wala yata yung first two. Yung una is yun nga, seedling distribution, yung S dyan, seedling distribution. Alam naman natin yan, ang BPI ay matagal na pong namimigay ng mga punla, mga binhi, para ma-encourage ang participation. Yun namang ating T ay yung trainings. So seedling distribution, yung T yung trainings through online and face-to-face. And then yung E natin dito, yung establishment of urban agriculture gardens. Ito po yung nakikita nyo sa bandang kaliwa sa taas. Ito na rin sa baba ay isang malaking ehemplo ng urban gardens. Kung hindi kayo maniniwala na yan po ay nasa loob ng ating piitan, sa Muntinlupa, kung saan meron tayong almost 80 hectares doon na lupa. So kami po ay dahan-dahan nagde-develop ng mga areas para ma-develop doon, maging productive. Nakailang harvest festivals na po tayo. So yun nga, Ma'am Lynn, kung naalala nyo, yun sa Jollibee natin, entrepreneurship program natin, isa ito sa ating kandidato na maging participant doon to supply sana. Although meron pa tayong mga fixes, kumbaga, para maging mas efficient. So yung P naman natin, yun nga, yung collaboration, power of networking. So hindi lang international organizations, yung academe nandyan, civil society. Sorry, wala akong picture ng TSPI. Yung mga private sector partners natin na andyan din. Even yung mga Boy Scouts and yung sa ating sa mga army natin, nandyan din na tumulong sa atin, especially nung una na hindi tayo makaikot, sila yung naging vehicle natin, naging literal na foot soldiers natin to distribute and to help us establish the community gardens. U, of course, unity. I think isang naging nito, yung naging magandang impact nito, yung strategy namin na na-unite yung aming mga ahensya. Kasi dati business as usual. Sige, you just do your work. Bahala ka dyan sa responsibilidad nyo. Kami, bahala na dito. So with the pandemic, yun nga, medyo yung timing lang ng collaboration ang medyo malungkot doon, but with the 1DA reform strategy kung saan ni-unify natin and nagko-complement yung mga uh, capabilities ng ating mga ahensya to converge and to collaborate. Medyo na break down kumbaga yung mga silos ng ating mga ahensya. And yes, ito yung huli, yung P, yung proactive partnership. So nakakatuwa na hindi minsan may ilo-launch kaming activity, bigla naman magla-lockdown. So parang kumbaga at least nakapamigay kami, but then minsan hindi natin masabi, di ba? Ang panahon. So yung proactivity dito siguro will come in a way na nag-prepare tayo before the lockdown, sa kapamigay na tayo ng ating mga inputs so that kung ano't anong mangyari ay meron tayo, yun nga, may masusuksok para may mabubunot. Ano? Siguro ito yung pinaka-paradigm itong ating gustong gawin is communities of support. I know yung TSPI, kumbaga isang network din kayo which supports each other. So ito, ang gusto nating gawin, food always in the home at the bottom of the pyramid. Hope naman is household and organizational production enhancement. So yung mga communities natin na nagpa-participate, improve their production. And then lastly, yung entrepreneurship part, wherein bigyan natin ng agribusiness thinking yung ating mga partisipante para naman, kasi yun yung incentive dyan kumbaga many will participate and many will drop out, but if they see the incentives, yun yung siguro makakapag-sustain, ano? So around the pyramid ay yung support system natin from the government through policies and support, input support, academe and research centers for the innovative learnings, kumbaga new technologies, and then the NGOs and CSOs, kasi isa lang kami part ng lipunan, ang government. Although kami ang aasahan, we need the support of these organizations para masustain yung initiatives natin. Marami kaming nagiging partners na ganyan. Kumbaga, binibigyan namin ng input sa una, pero sila na yung nagtutuloy-tuloy. Ano? Although marami pang ways upang ma-improve ito, we are going there. And of course, private sector, kasi minsan kailangan natin infuse yung business and entrepreneurship, link them with the institutional buyers and the market. And of course, yung support ng mismong consumers. Patanim tayo ng patanim. Yung pala'y wala namang kumakain ng gulay. So yun siguro, encouraging them to support the initiatives. So itong ating pyramid na ito, itong communities of support na ito, will complement or work towards yung consolidation, modernization, industrialization, and professionalization na tinitingnan ng DA sa aming 1DA reform agenda. Consolidate the network of urban gardens para mas maganda yung presyuhan o mas maplano natin, makalendar natin yung supply. Modernization, yung use ng Internet of Things sa urban gardens natin, for example. Industrialization is feeding, kumbaga pag na-network na natin itong urban gardens natin, pwede na nating ipasa ito sa agribusiness side namin at para naman ma-market nila ng maayos. And of course, yung professionalization, habang gumagawa tayo, habang nag-i-experience tayo dito sa urban agriculture, ay mas natututo tayo ng mas practical na teknolohiya, mas madali kasi, mas madaling gayahin. So isa 'yon. Although professionalization, napaka term na 'yon, but it still comes from practice. We hone the skills until magkaroon tayo ng mga innovative centers. Okay. So ito lang 'yan. Ito, i-share ko lang yung mga naging interventions natin. Ito na yung mga LGUs na nakapartner natin, mga private sector na partner natin. Ito yung mga established urban farms natin. Meron nga tayo sa Luneta, meron tayo sa Muntinlupa, meron tayo sa Quezon City, at sa marami pang ibang lugar. Itong ating ginagawa ay gusto pa nating lalong pagyamanin, paramihin pa ang ating urban gardens at community gardens. Sana kayo sa PSPI ay tuloy pa rin ang inyong pagpo-promote nito. Ano? Okay. So ito yung mga technologies, ito mga simple pero kayang gawin: containerized gardening, hydroponics. Yung vertical gardening dito medyo simple pero mamaya makikita nyo may mas high-tech na vertical gardens dyan. Yung mushroom production din nandyan, and smart agriculture. Yan na yung sinatawag natin sa mga innovation centers sa atin. Ito na, yung vertical farm models. Itong nasa kaliwa nyo ay isang indoor vertical farm kung saan nagpo-produce ng mga herbs at yun nga, sustainable na siya at kumikita. Ito namang sa isang vertical farm sa bandang Pampanga, at meron na rin yan dito sa Maynila, kung saan isang tower niya ay nakakapag-produce o nag-a-assume na makapag-produce ng 2 tons per year. So, kumbaga hindi mo na kailangan ganong kalaking space with the technology that we have, makakaproduce tayo. Ito yung isa sa latest naming tinitingnan kung paano namin siya ma-improve is yung rooftop gardening natin. We have partners with isang malaking mall. Hindi ko na lang sasabihin, 2 letra lang yun. So in-offer nila yung rooftops nila sa amin to see kung ano yung pwedeng gawin namin doon. Ito namang nasa baba nyo, ito ay isang private company din, yung Dole Company, na meron na tayong ganyan, rooftop garden. So, para una, yun nga, makapag-produce. Pangalawa, siguro yung to cool down yung mga buildings natin, maging green nating mga buildings. And hopefully, makapture natin yung markets doon. Kasi mismo doon na mismo, yun na yung market eh. Yung ilalim ng mga rooftops na. Ito iba naman, mga aquaponic system, mushroom system na ipamigay natin dati, hydroponics. Siguro ito internal na lang ito, yung ating patuloy na pagmo-monitor and evaluate. Siguro to end the presentation, siguro i-share ko lang sa inyo na itong urban gardening natin, urban agriculture initiative natin ay nagsimula sa seed. Talagang literal na seed noon. Namimigay kami ng seeds at mga planting materials. Pero kumbaga nagliyab yung passion namin dahil nga ito nga, isipin niyo po dati siguro mga 50 lang a week ang nare-receive namin na request for seeds, hanggang sa naging 1,000 na siya in a week. So parang nakita namin, talaga palang sumusuporta yung mga tao at gusto nilang mag-produce. So kahit na maliit yung seed, yun nga, kami ay nangangarap na maging movement ito, hanggang sa maging lifestyle na siya, lifestyle of helping each other, lifestyle of being healthy, and helping each other through collaboration. So hanggang sa maging kultura na siya, yun sana ang ating pinapangarap. So hopefully, with the help of organizations like the PSPI and our other partners, ay masustain natin itong initiative natin on urban agriculture. So yun lang po. Sa ngayon, yun na lang po ang aking presentation, at maraming salamat po sa inyo at sa inyong suporta sa ating programa. So thank you very much po.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Gerald Glenn Panganiban. Bigyan po natin ng round of applause si Sir Glenn. Ganyan, round of applause. Okay. Balik. Thank you very much. And of course, hindi natin pwedeng iwan yung topic na yan hanggat hindi natin dinig ang Secretary of Department of Agriculture, si Secretary William Carr. Okay. He will also tackle a certain, yan, okay, Secretary William D. Dar serves for the second time as the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. His first stint as Agri-Chief was in 1998 until 1999 under the administration of President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. To date, he is the only Filipino who led a global agricultural research institute, the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, headquartered at India. He served for 3 consecutive 5-year term from 2000 to 2014. His extensive research and professional experience include crop management, farming systems development, and technology sharing and upscaling. Brothers and sisters, let us all listen and welcome our Secretary for Department of Agriculture, Secretary William Dar.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Warm greetings to the Alliance of Philippine Partners in Enterprise Development Network and to all of the distinguished speakers and guests for making time to be here. By this time last year, practically every major city in the world was hit with a virus that was at first met with silence and indifference. Most of us had known little about COVID-19 until about March of 2020. So the disease spread unchecked, first in crowded cities, then gradually into the rural areas. The necessary quarantine measures imposed throughout the world made urban food supplies acutely sensitive to demand shocks. Since then, public interest in growing fruits and vegetables at home has soared. This is true not only in the developing world, but in developed nations as well. But while the global health crisis may have sparked some enthusiasm for urban agriculture, it has become increasingly clear that sustaining it is just as important. Regreening became a dual-goal process of feeding dense populations in certain areas and working towards healthier environmental cover for future generations. We have formed partnership with local government units and the private sector to ensure that vulnerable urban communities are not only able to grow their own food, but that they are also able to generate jobs and supplemental incomes from urban farming. We continued to provide planting materials, training, and technical support. The idea is to have an abundant supply of planting materials for distribution to be guaranteed by the DA Bureau of Plant Industry. The DA Agricultural Training Institute is also tasked to provide training in urban farming systems, such as vertical gardens, other government and scientific institutions, such as the Department of Science and Technology, help this cause by providing technical assistance in hydroponic systems. I believe that this gathering will provide an excellent opportunity for us to exchange views and collaborate behind the objectives that unite us and provides us spiritual refreshment, leadership development, and renewal of commitment to serve the people. I encourage all who are participating in this conference to contribute vigorously toward the achievement of our common purpose. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you very much, Secretary Dar, and once again, thank you very much, Sir Glenn, for the sharing coming from the Department of Administration. All right, thank you.
Masigabong
Thank you very
palakpakan
much.
po. Salamat.
Okay, so coming from the government sector, let us now move to the side of the microfinance industry and to present the integrated farming system. Let us welcome Ms. Iris Gulanes from TSKI. She is the director, TSKI Skills and Knowledge Institute Incorporated. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Community Development at the University of the Philippines in the Visayas. Underwent various capacity development training programs, which include the Certificate in Development Management from Asian School Development and Cross-Cultural Studies. She is also a test trainer and assessor of microfinance technology with NC Level 2. A licensed professional teacher and currently taking up her master's degree in management at the University of the Philippines in the Visayas. She's working with the TSKI for the last 21 years. Within those years, she was able to handle various positions, starting from the microfinance operations to being a training manager. She was able to also manage and implement various projects and partnerships with different local and foreign organizations for being in charge of the Community and Enterprise Development Department of the said organization. Currently, she is in charge of the TSKI Skills and Knowledge Institute Incorporated, a subsidiary company of TSKI Microfinance NGO. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Ms. Iris. Welcome, Iris.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Sir Roland, thank you so much for that kind introduction, sir. Napakaganda po indeed ng ating pinag-uusapan ngayong hapon. And I would like to thank the APPEND leaders and also this event ngayon. I would remember previous years, every year we look forward to this na mag face-to-face, but then because of this pandemic, we are here virtually, we are meeting each other. But sabi nga, nothing can stop the advancement and the initiatives of the microfinance organizations in terms of providing different strategies and opportunities in poverty alleviation and eradication in our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this opportunity. So, we have discussed, sabi nga ni Sir Glenn kanina, food always in the home. Napakagandang wika, faith, food always in the home. And diba, we recognize, of course, that without the farmers, we will not have food being served in our table. Kanina nung nag-lunch tayo, yung mga kinain natin I hope that we remember the farmers who really toiled a lot in bringing us those kind of products. Okay. In TSKI, we have established a TSKI Skills and Knowledge Institute, which is actually a subsidiary organization of TSKI Microfinance NGO. Now, our vision here is to really empower the different members of the community coming from the different sectors of the society in order for them that their capacity will be enhanced to further contribute to the betterment of our community. So that's why currently we have registered in TESDA. Now we are currently a registered training and assessment center of microfinance technology, NC2, wherein we have facilitated different batches of scholars also to be equipped in the role as loan officers, and then be part of this organization, or even be involved and be employed in other companies as well. So with regards to the reason why TSKI decided to embark in establishing a farm school, aside from the current programs that we have, our president, Angel L. De Leon Jr., has this to say.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to discuss with you on why TSKI embarked in having a farm school. When we talk about poverty, particularly in the rural areas, most likely we would always say that it is the marginal farmers or the fisher folks that are greatly affected because of the agricultural situation in our country. And indeed, the small farmers would be subjected to a lot of circumstances in which they are not able to be productive, like a high cost of farm inputs, the scarcity of irrigation, and also most of the time, the prices of palay during harvest time. And so, given those circumstances, in our program in helping the marginalized farmers in TSKI, we thought that it was kind of important for us to be involved in a farmers integrated program that will address the basic problems of small farmers. Our intervention in this undertaking is to see to it that these small farmers are organized. And indeed, as we organize them, we saw to it that they would have a contiguous area of around 15 to 20 hectares. We would like to look at it as an organized farming so that mechanization can be introduced in their farming activities. However, increasing productivity is not only the issue in the life of small farmers. Somehow, we realize, and they experience it, that during time of after planting and waiting time for harvesting is what you call the gestation period, in which they have to find another means of livelihood. And so it was kind of important for us to undertake a particular program that will address this period in which they are awaiting for their harvest time. If there is no livelihood program that we introduce, somehow what the farmers will be doing is they will go to the 5-6, they will go to usurious undertaking, in which they will need money so that they can feed their family, only to realize that during harvest time, all their harvest produce will just be used to pay for such loan. or even sometimes they will default on the loans that we extended to them. And so what we did was to see to it that they should be involved in a small enterprise in the window when they are waiting for their particular harvest. And so we felt that they should have what you call a livelihood in between, like having a vegetable garden at their backyard, try to support a small piggery program, or try to breed or try to undertake some poultry business or livelihood, and a lot of things that will tie them off until the harvest time. However, we realized that as simple as it may be, this particular undertaking, it needs a lot of technology and training as well. Take, for example, if you tell them that they will go into high-value crops so that they will have vegetables, they will be able to eat during the time in which they're waiting for their harvest. I think it is not enough that we tell them to plant vegetable. What is important is for them to realize what vegetables do they need to plant, how to plant the vegetables, and how to make good in maintaining this kind of vegetables so that it can be marketed if ever they have an excess in production. And so TSKI embarked into a farm school in which we can educate farmers in some form of livelihood that is agricultural based. In our farm school, we teach them how to grow vegetables in a very scientific way. When we tell them you plant with high value crop, we teach them the technology on how to plant, what kind of vegetables you plant on this kind of soil. When we tell them that they need to have they need to raise some form of backyard piggery, we tell them on how to raise this kind of pigs, the race that they should be able to get, and the type of food that they can feed the pigs. And so we have a wide array of programs in our farm school, ranging from vegetables to chicken raising, to piggery, to goat raising, to small fish pond raising, and even we introduce them to vermiculture so that they themselves can save from the fertilizers that they use in their farms. And so with this, we will be able to address the particular window in which, when they are done with their planting, they will be able to undertake another livelihood program that will tie them off until they are able to harvest. And so with this, I believe that the farm school will really educate them in how to be an enterprising farmers. The beauty about the farm school is it is accredited with the TESDA and with the Agricultural Training Institute, which means that they are able to attend classes for free, but TESDA will be able to pay for the educational fees. And this means that eventually when they graduate, they will be an NC2 graduate, they will have this competency that indeed they themselves can be teachers, they themselves can be the one who will be teaching other farmers in their locality.
So with that kind of vision, fueled with passion, pandemic will not stop us in exploring opportunities to complement the existing programs of the organization, even if it means retooling and developing new competencies. Bringing food security and sustainability in agricultural households entails various strategies, since this is not just about production, but it includes the entire value chain of the agricultural sector that affect the whole economic interaction of the industry. It also involves the interplay of other sectors of our society. So one approach or model that we are doing in the SKI right now is the integrated farming system. So in order for all of us to get a glimpse of what integrated farming system is all about, let's watch this.
Good day. I am Mr. Edward Trisico, the farm consultant of TSKI Farm. One of the greatest problem in our agriculture sector at present are the windows of opportunity in the livelihood aspect. Farming nowadays become a problem in the society of farmers because of the lack in innovative technology, creative stewardship, and their farming practices. The rice commodity as a staple food for Filipinos has been affected with higher inputs and lower in production. And our production cost is very high compared than other neighboring countries. Because of this, TSKI Farm developed a farming program, which is the integrated and diversified under the value chain program to increase the alternative livelihood and potential income opportunities for sustainability, food safety, food security, and food sovereignty. The most important things to consider to have a successful farming practices is to develop and apply the technology. The only technology which is sustainable in the applications of farming practices is the nature farming system technology. This is the backbone of a successful farming practices under the value chain program. Its application is infinite and it contributes to the welfare of environment and the society as well. The application of this technology can be expanded to different productivity commodities such as high-value crops production, livestock, which is the poultry and swine and goat production, systems of rice intensification integrated with rice and fish culture, the development and emplacement of inland agri-fishery, the advocacy in the salt farming, which is the sloping agricultural land technology integrated with the sustainable food forest production, and advocacy on the medicinal farming and the awareness of health programs for every Filipino farmers and consumers. The high-value crops production is one of the potential in the development of earning a higher income program. The TSKI show windows in the development of a limited areas for productions like 100 square meters can have a decent income of at least one cycle period, which is the 45 days, can gather as much as 240 kilos of lettuce, which is equivalent to 36,000 times 6 cycles in a year. This is one of the innovative and creative concepts in the farming and another productivity commodity which is also potential as an alternative livelihood in earning higher income in the establishment of livestock production. TSKI Farm develop a short-term production period like native chicken to sustain the long-term livestock commodity such as the productions of the native pigs. The native chicken production under the compartmentalized program in the development of 30 square meters layer productions in the ratio of 30 heads can produce as much as 900 eggs in 2 months. In actual practices, it shows that a 60% result in the hatching stage, which is equivalent to 540 heads with the economic value in the grow-out period as much as 102,600 pesos in 60-day cycle. The good thing about the productivity commodity, the byproducts converted into the potential compost fertilizers which can be used back in the farm production. The use of NFS feeds and technology lower down the cost by 60% in the production process, which means more alternative income for the farmer growers. The swine production, which is the native pigs, shows a remarkable exponential quantity in the production. Aside from using the NFS feeds, which is 80% indigenous, like potential vegetable scraps and identified rich protein vegetable feeds, are one of the components lowering the cost and ensuring high returns of income. TSKI also developed another productivity commodity in the development of inland agri-fishery for another alternative livelihood opportunities for the farmers. This contributes high income returns in the productions and to address the sustainability of every farmer growers for every household. Due to the current uprising problems in the rice farmer growers are higher farm inputs which result to a less income for the rice farmer growers. Our production cost ratio as much as 12 pesos in every kilo of palay, and our vested prevailing price in the market forces is between 12 to 13 pesos per kilo, resulting to higher inputs. The rice farmer growers incur losses in their farming practices. TSKI Farm developed another window of productivity commodity, which is the systems of rice intensifications, integrated with rice and fish culture to ensure that the income in the productions both in the rice and the fish culture has 20 times higher income result because of the fish culture value. One of the major areas concerned are the hilly places. The hilly places remains to be idle in terms of agricultural production and did not result to a productive area. TSKI advocates and develop a show window model in the development of the sloping areas into a sloping agricultural land technology integrated with a sustainable food forest production. This model is one of the potential development in the integrated agricultural practices, developing the unproductive area to be more productive. The sloping agricultural land technology can be utilized in vegetable production. The contours in the strips are important components to preserve the soil erosions. This technology has a potential in the short and long-term production. This means that the SALT program reduces idle lands and converts it into a productive practices. Another productivity commodity that the SKI Farm developed is the medicinal farming. Nowadays, people are mostly influenced by the Western culture. It means that the intervention of natural medicine were not realized. The TSKI Farm established the medicinal farming program as one of the important components with the health issues in the communities. The TSKI Farm, leading into a farm tourism destination, advocates in using alternative medicine in the expansion and awareness. This productivity commodity is also in demand by the restaurants, hotels, and malls in the promotions and market. Lastly, the SKI Farm recommend for the sustainability of productions and income by adopting the integrated farming practices of every farmers in the specific communities to become more resilient in every circumstances. Integrated farming practices are the only solutions to the Filipino farmers to earn, live, and have a decent, sustainable life. Thank you and God bless us all.
We are all excited about this, especially the SKI is currently working with the 215 farmers organization in the provinces of Iloilo and Capiz with more than 5,000 farmers under our Farmers Integrated Development Assistance Program. So moreover, this will also be an avenue for collaboration of different agencies, both private and public agencies, especially the local government units. Actually, during our startup, we are already partnering with the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources or the BFAR, the Philippine Coconut Authority, and we are also partnering with, of course, the local government unit here in the municipality of Pavia. So moving forward, We are now processing our documents to be registered as accredited by the Agricultural Training Institute, or the ATI, as a learning site for agriculture. And later also with TESDA, with different kinds of qualifications related to agriculture, of course. In the midst of this pandemic, may we not just recover, but more so rise above from where we were before, as we discover more of our capabilities and opportunities brought about by this crisis. We believe that by partnering with the agricultural sector, this is our humble way of letting brotherly love continue. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Iris. Thank you for letting us in and understand the integrated farming system that is being promoted by TSKI. Galing, no? So nakikita na natin na they are empowering partners, maximizing land use, and having produce that are not limited to the traditional farm outputs or farm produce, but also those that are gaining popularity na mga medicinal plants. Galing, very good, no? So we now move to the private sector, and let's listen to the Executive Director of Jollibee Group Foundation. She will talk about Farmer Entrepreneurship Program. Let us all welcome Ms. Maria Gisela H. Chongson. Ms. Maria Gisela Chongson is the Executive Director of the Jollibee Group Foundation. Yan. And wala ang aking binabasa. Try natin na maibalik. Yan. Thank you very much. All right. And she is also currently the chair of the Association of Foundations, the largest network of NGOs and foundations in the country. Gisela is a PhD candidate in leadership in public management at the Ateneo School of Government. She obtained her master's degree from the George Washington University and a degree in mathematics from the Ateneo de Manila University. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, mga kasama, let us all welcome Ms. Gisela. With a round of applause. May nag-round of applause. Gising.
Okay.
Alright.
Maraming salamat, Sir Ronald. No? Nakakatuwa naman ang inyong applause talaga. So a jolly afternoon to everyone attending the 29th APPEND Leadership Conference. Unang-una, isang malaking pasasalamat sa mga organizers ng event na to, led by Tulay sa Pag-unlad, for inviting us to be part of this year's successful conference. On behalf of Jollibee Group Foundation, I would also like to commend APPEND as a network for its commitment to continuously strengthen the leadership and competence of its member institutions. And we are really very honored to be in the same room together with the leaders and delegates of these institutions. As a background, our company, Jollibee Foods Corporation, started when Tony and Grace Tangkatyong founded two ice cream parlors in 1975. And seeing the demands of customers for warm meals, they introduced hamburgers into the menu, and soon the hamburgers outsold the ice cream and Jollibee was formed. Today, Jollibee Foods Corporation is the largest Asian food service company with over 5,000 stores under 17 brands in 33 countries. The company's growth drew from its mission of serving great tasting food and bringing the joy of eating to everyone. It is the same mission that inspired our leaders to make sure that the communities where we operate grew as well. Kaya nga in 2004, Jollibee Group Foundation was established. As the social development arm of a food company, it was strategic for us to focus our work on helping communities gain sustainable access to food. So pagkain pa rin, no? By doing so, we can harness the skills and strengths of the company to help communities across the country. Currently, Jollibee Group Foundation implements programs in agriculture through the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, in education through the Busog Lusog Talino School Feeding Program and A Scholarship Program, and disaster response through Jollibee Group Food Aid. All these are done in partnership with local institutions nationwide. And in this session, I will focus on the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program. It was actually our chairman, Tony Tancatyong, who had this idea of working with farmers. Sabi niya, what if Jollibee were to buy directly from the farmers so that they can have a regular and stable market to sell to? Our company's daily requirements for fresh vegetables puts us in a strategic position to serve as a direct market for the farmers. It was a simple concept, but the execution was far from being simple. And I'm sure many of you in this room know what I mean. I will spare you the details of how we went through it for now, as you would have the opportunity to hear it directly from the panel later on. Allow me to share, though, that through the hard work of many involved in the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, or FEP, we now have 17 farmer co-ops supplying Jollibee Foods Corporation. And they have delivered around 7,000 metric tons of vegetables since 2008, amounting to 300 million pesos in total sales. What FEP has done is to demonstrate that indeed it is possible for ordinary smallholder farmers to control the marketing of their produce, and that they can deal with middlemen on equal footing because they are no longer at their mercy when it comes to selling their harvest. More importantly, nakikita po ito ng mga kabataan sa mga pamayanan at ito yung nag-iinganyo sa kanila na ituloy ang pagsasaka dahil alam nila there is money to be made from farming. It is a career worth pursuing. So let's watch this video.
Nakakatuwa naman. Akalain mo ba, ang mga sangkap na mga pagkain ito nanggaling sa mga magsasakang katulad ko? Lumaki ako sa bukid kasama ng pamilya ko. Sige po, Nay. Dati, hirap sina tatay at nanay umasenso. Pare-pareho lang lagi ang pamamaraan sa pagtatanim. Kanya-kanyang diskarte sa pagbenta. Madalas, di namin alam kung kikita pa ba kami. Pero sa tulong ng Farmer Entrepreneurship Program ng Jollibee Group Foundation, nagsimulang gumaan ang buhay namin. Nabigyan kami ng training para sama-samang makapagbenta sa malalaking buyer. Pinakilala kami sa mga bibili ng aming produkto, kaya alam na namin kung anong kalidad at gaano kadami ang kailangan nila. At dahil naturuan na kami ng maayos sa pagkwenta, mas sigurado na ang kita namin. Lahat ito, i-deliver na sa Jollibee Group para gamitin sa iba't ibang branches sa buong bansa. Sa ganda ng negosyo ngayon, excited na rin silang sumali sa amin. Dati, simpleng magsasaka. Ngayon, farmer entrepreneur na. Proud kaming lahat dahil ang tinanim namin nagdadala ng saya sa maraming Pilipino.
So ito pong video na to, it really captures what we are aspiring for the farmers, no? Pero paano nga ba ito nangyari? To explain the strategies behind the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, joining me in this session is Joanna Lao, Jollibee Group Foundation Senior Program Manager.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Gisela, at sa lahat po ng mga participant nitong APPEND conference.
Okay. Siguro, Joanna, simulan natin ang kwento by providing context on how it was in the past. Ano nga ba ang mga constraints sa mga farmers para makapag-supply sa institutional buyers? Kasi naalala ko naman, after na nag-meet ang ating board at sinabihan nga na hanapan ng paraan ng Jollibee Foods Corporation na bumili diretso sa mga farmers, hindi naman tayo nahirapang kumbinsihin ang purchasing group, di ba?
Yes, and no, that's right, no? In fact, nung tinanong natin yung mga taga-purchasing if they were willing to buy directly from farmers, sabi nila, as a strategy, they actually prefer to buy as close to the source as possible. Pero nasubukan na raw nila dati na mag-order sa mga farmer and it couldn't be sustained beyond the first few deliveries. In fact, back in 2008, when we were starting the program, we could barely find examples of farmers directly linked to markets. Many groups had tried before but couldn't seem to get it to work.
So, if it makes sense for the companies and for the farmers to transact directly, why do you think very few practice this?
One main factor seems to be a lack of access. Alam naman po natin na farmers lack access to innovative production technology, institutions that could provide needed services, at wala rin silang access sa markets. They have no idea what the big buyers need kasi sa trader na lang sila umaasa. The markets, on the other hand, didn't know how to find or communicate with smallholder farmers that could sustainably supply, or even support organizations that could help them link directly to the farmers. The traders were quite efficient in providing a reliable supply for their raw materials. So ba't pa sila maghahanap ng iba?
So, access talaga is a clear issue. And alam naman natin, no, maraming mahihirap na pamayanan. Yan talaga yung hinaharap nila. Pero yun lang ba? Yun lang ba yung problema?
Perhaps even deeper than the lack of access was the lack of trust. Napakahalaga ng tiwala. Farmers mistrusted company processes so unfamiliar to them. Modern methods, maraming mga papers and contracts, and the reliability of companies as markets. It's also hard for markets to trust the farmer's capacity to manage a business relationship. Marami nang nakaranas nung pole vaulting, yung hindi natutupad ng farmer yung mga pinangakong ibebenta nila. So it's important to appreciate this context and past experience to see why we couldn't simply find a group of farmers and introduce them immediately to Jollibee.
I see. So, siguro to better appreciate the challenges that farmers are facing, tingnan nga natin yung typical value chain, no? With farmers as producers on one end, and their products going through many layers before they reach the end consumer. So it involves production, consolidation, processing, distribution, and these are done by two types of market actors. No? First are the main chain actors such as the traders, the agents, the retailers who buy and sell until it reaches the consumers. But second are the business development service providers who do not buy or sell the product but who provide critical services such as financing. Marami yata sa grupo na to ang meron yan, Joanna.
Yes.
Farm input, supply, transport, etc. So anong masasabi mo sa value chain na ito? Paano nga ba mas kikita ang mga magsasaka?
Makikita po natin na in this existing system, it's common for the trader not only to buy the farmer's products, but also to act as the financier, input supplier, and transporter. So with this much influence, they also control the price. Pero kung wala namang traders, karamihan sa mga farmer, hindi rin mabibenta ang kanilang mga produkto. So paano mapapalakas ng mga farmer ang kanilang bargaining power? They have to upgrade their participation in the value chain. And given the starting point where they are disadvantaged, this has to be done in a systematic way with the help of support institutions. So to illustrate, pag-usapan natin yung onion value chain and how it became inclusive. Here, you can see the basic elements and the actors. There are different types of upgrading strategies that can help farmers to improve their participation in the value chain. 5 po itong strategy at dadaanan natin isa-isa. So the first strategy was to improve the coordination. Local partners such as LGUs, co-ops, MFIs, or social enterprises help farmers to organize themselves into clusters to consolidate their products for better volume and competitive supply. Next, the farmers upgraded their value-adding activities. This includes sorting, peeling, and transporting the products through the help of their local partners. The farmers devised ways to quickly sort small, medium, and large onions since Jollibee has a minimum size requirement. Yung mga community members tulad ng mga kababaihan, yung mga senior citizen, also earn extra income by doing the peeling. With their training and consolidated volume, the farmers are now equipped to negotiate with markets and deliver their products directly, for which they can get a higher selling price. Jollibee oriented the farmers on the specifications needed. So may extra effort din yung company para ma-orient yung mga farmers. And to ensure the customer satisfaction, farmers continuously improve their products and their processes. For example, Jollibee requires all agricultural suppliers to be certified in Philippine Good Agricultural Practices or PhilGAP. With the help of DA, the foundation, and other partners, proud na proud ang mga farmers na meron na silang PhilGAP certification. They also do other process improvements such as varietal testing to increase yield, and we're working on a project to provide daily farming advice based on weather forecasts. We're also partnering with DA and other agencies so the farmers can have soil testing and appropriate advice. All of this is made possible through the work of a set of partners. The farmers will have a hard time doing it by themselves, and we at the foundation alone cannot provide all the support they need. Kanina sa presentation ni Sir Glenn, nabanggit din yan na napaka-importante ng mga partnership, di ba? We applied the upgrading strategy of improving the institutional environment. We formed a network of support institutions such as local partners, national and regional government units, financing institutions, NGOs, and the academe. And each of these organizations play different roles in supporting the farmers, with the foundation acting as the bridge and convener.
So mukhang mahalaga yung nasabi mo, no? There are 5 strategies for value upgrading. So improving coordination, upgrading value-adding activities, improvement of product and process, and lastly, improving the institutional environment. Sabi natin, it's the local partners such as LGUs, co-ops, microfinance institutions, or social enterprise that organize the farmers into clusters para nga ma-consolidate nila yung mga produkto nila for better volume and competitive supply. Pakinggan nga natin yung kwento naman na to. So joining us here also is Ms. Lynn Onesa from Tulay sa Pag-unlad Inc. So one of JGS MFI partners for the past 4 years. So Lynn, pwede mo bang ibahagi naman, no? What was the critical role that MFIs played in this value chain?
Going back sa question po ni Ma'am Gisela, ano ba ang critical role ng mga MFIs? Traditionally, no, mga MFIs, we all know this, that ang ating role sa value chain talaga is to provide more affordable production loans to the small farmers. Kasi nga, yung kanilang ibang option, kung di sila sa atin hihiram, medyo mahal talaga, no? 5, 6, or even mas mahal pa doon. It's an acknowledged big help even by the farmers, pero we all know, like yung mga sharing po kanina, or even yung mga baka hindi na share ngayon, walang chance to share, pero many MFIs here will agree with me, agree with us na to have more sustainable impact po sa buhay ng mga farmers, specifically in maximizing their income from farming, we have to help them market their produce. And we're grateful na kami ay isa sa naging FEP or Farmer Entrepreneurship Program Partner ng Jollibee Group Foundation. And as a partner, TSPI serves as a guide who walks along with the farmer in their journey para matuto sila paano i-improve ang kanilang mga production processes step by step. And also, on the other hand, matulungan din sila how to effectively deal with the market. But this time, not as an individual farmers, but as an organized group. Pero for TSPI to be able to do that, allow me to also say this, at kanina pa maraming nag-uulit nito, isa siguro talaga sa paulit-ulit na gusto nating matandaan, ano? Sambayanihan po talaga. TSPI also has to partner with other institutions closely so that we can effectively assist the farmers. Because we do not, syempre as an MFI, we do not have all the expertise naman po, di ba? So for TSPI, Ma'am Gisela, kami, we learn to partner even more sa Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Plant Industry. Hinanap namin paano po pwede makakuha ng field gap certificate ng farmers. Of course, local government para sa technical support. We were also able to link up yung mga farmers namin sa ibang farmer groups para makakita sila ng best practices na parang learn and more by observing what others are doing. Of course, syempre, we partner with institutional buyers like JFC, Jollibee Foundation din for the marketing processes. So, yun po. Based on the story of how Ma'am Joey kanina explained the process, we went all through those steps po.
Oo nga, napakayaman na naging karanasan ninyo, no? And from this experience in promoting the inclusion of smallholder farmers in value chain, ano sa tingin mo yung pinaka-critical challenge, leadership challenge, no, na hinaharap, no? Halimbawa sa inyo, Lee, no? Ano ang mga ito at paano nyo hinarap?
Okay po. Challenges ng TSPI. So, dalawa po. Maraming challenges. At ang challenges po ay both on the part of the farmers and both on the part of the organization helping TSPI, helping the farmers. So, TSPI may challenge din. So, let me start with the challenges ng mga farmers. Sa experience po namin sa Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, ang mga farmers po, hirap talaga mag-change ng mindset. Sanay po talaga sila na magtanim na lang kami, i-produce namin, and then bahala na kayo magbenta. Sabi nila sa TSPI, ganun, ma'am, bilhin nyo na lang yung kami mga produce. Pero in the Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, we have to really convince them that they can do it. They can group together as a cluster of farmers and market their produce as a formal agro-enterprise. So, kailangan po nila ng ganung constant support. So, ang challenge sa kanila, to know how to compute cost of production, understand pricing, appreciate the specific requirements of the institutional buyers, preparing documentation or documents na kailangan. So, maraming ganong challenges. On the part of TSPI naman, ako siguro personally, I can say na ang challenge sa amin is to really not to give up on the farmers. Minsan po kasi it's easier to think na maybe the program is not for this group of farmers or look for another area na lang siguro, baka di talaga nila kaya. But we realize and we are thankful that at this point, we can say na all of those things, the challenges are just part of the transformational process. And siguro finally, Ma'am Gisela, let me just share with everyone po that we are grateful and thankful to the Lord. Recently, yung isa sa mga grupo ng farmers po namin, mga kalamansi farmers po namin in Haen, Nueva Ecija, ang masipag kapang kabuhayan was recognized and given a bronze award by the Jollibee Food Corporation in their 2021 Suppliers Summit. Parang sila lang yung group of farmers na nagkaroon recognition. So parang kami, ay, pwede talaga. So may pag-asa po talaga para sa mga magsasaka at para sa mga gustong tumulong sa mga magsasaka.
Wow! Amazing, amazing, Ma'am Lina. Talagang yan ang brotherly love that continued on. Talagang hindi nyo binitawan, no? To have reached that level of recognition as a supplier. And take note, ang katapat nila are even multinational suppliers of JFC. Hindi lang mga maliliit at hindi lang local, no? So it's truly a major milestone. In fact, the calamansi farmers you assist are the first among the farmer groups supplying the company to have received that recognition. So congratulations talaga. Ang galing. Glory to God talaga. Salamat. Sige, balik naman tayo sa iyo, Joanna. Ano naman ang mga sasabi mo when it comes to the challenges?
Okay. Ano po, so agree po ako dun sa mga sinabi ni Ms. Lynn. No? Witness tayo sa mga pinagdaanan both ng TSPI, si Ms. Malu, and yung masipag ka farmers. No? So ang isa talaga gusto nating emphasize is the critical role of the local partner, which can be an MFI like TSPI. Because of the constraints faced by the farmers, It's no exaggeration to say that they cannot deliver to institutional buyers without the help of these facilitators. But it's not an easy task. Narinig naman natin yung sharing ni Ms. Lynn na minsan munti ka na mag-give up pero tuloy pa rin. So before MFIs go into this, they have to ask themselves, is this really a priority for them? What are they willing to invest to make it work? It's not a business as usual for all the partners involved. Maski sa mga farmer at sa mga market, hindi po ito pwede na business as usual because it needs a change in the previous mindset and beliefs. So on our part naman at Jollibee Group Foundation, we're very much willing to share our experience and eager to learn from other groups as well. Through the years, we've developed a training program, which we have now transformed into online format. This is the course Agro-Enterprise for Inclusive Value Chains, which we conduct in partnership with Xavier University Ateneo de Cagayan and FEP implementers. And we've completed the training runs for this year. In fact, Ms. Lynn was one of our outstanding graduates. But we're going to run the course again early in 2022, and we invite the other MFIs to sign up and learn more about this work.
Okay, maraming salamat ulit, Johanna and Lynn, for joining me in this presentation. Your sharing has really made the experience more real and the challenges more pronounced as well. Because truly, this work is not easy, and we've always been very explicit about that. One thing we have realized in more than a decade of our work is that the income problem of the farmers goes beyond a technical solution. We may have the capital, the seeds, the machineries, and all the facilities to provide to the farmers. But in the end, if there is no shift in the mindset and perspective of how we view farmers and what they're capable of, we cannot truly get this off the ground. As illustrated by TSPI and other members of your network that have been part of this endeavor, shout out to ASCII and to TSKI, MFIs must keep going beyond microfinance. Though helping the farmers may be the riskiest and in fact they're the most costly borrower, you all believe and agree that this sector is worth our effort and resources. And it can be done sustainably for both the farmers and the MFIs. The good thing is that we do not have and must not even do it alone. There are other organizations who are very willing to help the farmers, including the LGUs, private companies, and NGOs and foundations. The collective leadership of these institutions is important. And I would like to leave you with my favorite leadership quote from Bill O'Brien. Sabi niya, "The success of an intervention depends on the interior condition of the intervenor." Sa Tagalog, ang ikapagtatagumpay na anumang gawain ay nakasalalay sa adhikain at kalooban ng mga nagsusulong nito. On that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig and we wish everyone a fruitful and successful summit.